Alright guys, today we're talking epic champions. I have at least 5 of them that are absolutely crucial on my account. I've been using them for a very long time. I want to go over how they've allowed me to progress in this game. But I also want to cover a couple more epic champions that I use every now and then. I'm going to show you guys some screenshots, obviously all the builds, and hopefully this will give you some working models for the future. So if ever you do get them, you'll see just how amazing they are. And as you'll see right here, even this late into the game, I can still improve some of my run times. All that said, let's jump right into today's video. Before I get started, let me quickly talk about Game On. Yes, I know once again, but guys, I'm trying to do a push for this new social platform to share video game clips. You guys can participate as well. But I did tell you last week that I was going to do a giveaway specifically for that platform, and so here it is. It is on Twitter. So to participate in this specific giveaway for $15 for 2 winners, total of $30, you have to follow me on Twitter, you have to follow me on Game On, and you have to do this through the Twitter right there on this post. Okay, so links are available in the description. On top of that, we stream on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday nights, but we also do gem giveaways and also account giveaways. We're going to have 2 lined up for this week, as well as some of the gems, so make sure you tune in for that. Now let's talk about these champions, starting with Decrease Attack A1 Champ. Mine was Padma, and I still use her quite a bit. Even though I've tried other builds, I feel like she still fills that role of being a reliable Decrease Attack A1 champion. Alright, so here are her stats. It's a little bit low. I don't use her all the time now, but I do still think it is very valuable to have this kind of champ on your account. All right, so the accuracy is just enough, and then the speed is just enough for Nightmare, also Slow Tune Ultra Nightmare. Defense could use a lot more, but guys, it's always about balancing the gear on your account. All the skills are done, and then here are the masteries that I use for this champion. So how did she help my account? Well, here's an example of when I did not have a Decrease Attack A1 champion, right? And I was using Lightsworn, and so eventually I got Padma, and then look at my damage, it kind of skyrocketed here. Okay, so this is kind of like the same team. It wasn't very far apart. It allowed me to last a lot longer. That's the whole point here, is that a reliable Decrease Attack A1 champion will prevent you from wiping at a random turn count when it drops off. Alright, so now let's move on to the next one, which is going to be another clan boss champion. It has to be, and it's the one and only counterattack champion Skullcrusher, which I just talked about in the content creator topics videos from Hell Hades. So he's also in lifesteal, still is. Maybe I'm gonna try Stalwart on this guy at some point, but he is now tuned for Ultra Nightmare, so 191, the perfect speed. You don't want accuracy on this guy. You do want him to have enough HP and also enough defense, because he is going to take some of that damage, with the ally protection, and that is why, we like him so much. Double ally protection, if you can combine that on your clan boss team, is almost the next best thing, except for unkillable and like block damage, right? Here are the masteries on this champion that I've been using forever, and then here's a quick screenshot of the damage that I've been getting on Ultra Nightmare Void. All right, so as you see right here, we've got a pretty fancy 40 million, and I've since got another record, which is on the magic affinity. So let me put this a little bit bigger here for you guys. It is 45.24 million damage. Again, Skullcrusher is in there, and of course the double ally protection, which is what made all of this possible. And then the next 2 can be done pretty quickly because they were literally in the showcase in the beginning. It is Seer and Stag Knight, both for different reasons. I don't use Stag Knight everywhere, but he's a huge game changer on any account. He made the Ice Golem a lot easier for me, and Seer is just amazing across the board. And I use her in at least 3 dungeons in literally all the floors between the bosses of the Doom Tower, whether hard or normal. So let's start with Seer first here. She is one of my better geared champions. Here are the total stats. We have 209 speed, 100% crit rate, 261% crit damage, and enough resistance and accuracy for her to work correctly on the hard Doom Tower. All the skills are done. And then here are the masteries I'm currently using. Eagle Eye was kind of a must. I suppose Helm Smasher would be better here for a little bit more damage, but you number 1 want enough accuracy for the hard Doom Tower, so this was a sacrifice that I had to make. Then we're gonna have our fancy Stag Knight. This guy is amazing. I have mine in a shield set specifically for the Fire Knight and let's say the Ice Golem, because you need a couple more buffs for your Seer to eat. All right, so this guy's had 220 speed, 331 accuracy, relative amount of HP for a shield set, and then all the skills are done, and here are the masteries that I'm using on that champion. Then we're going to cover another crucial champion for dungeons, but also for Tag Arena, and he came before Stag Knight, and he powered up my Seer. Basically, Seer became a viable strategy on my account when I got Mausoleum Mage, and I still use him all the time. He is in a shield set as well, but also very high resistance for specifically Tag Arena. Not to mention increased defense buff and increased crit rate, which is fantastic for like an AoE defense nuker like Rosin, which is the strategy that I have in the tag team arena. All right, so he's relatively fast. He has to be. He's a buffer. He needs to go before Seer, and so the skills are all done obviously on this champion. Here are the masteries that I'm using on this guy. And then here's a quick screenshot of some of my better runs on the Dragon 20, which obviously has this Mausoleum Mage in there, all right? So now let's keep going to a champion that we're going to go back to Clan Boss here for a second, and you guys might be surprised by this one a little bit, but I'll explain why in a second. It is Occult Brawler, and I say Occult Brawler as a poisoner instead of Frozen Banshee and Xavier. Does that even make sense? In a sense, it does, and I just kind of talked about this not too long before. Here are some screenshots, is that Occult Brawler with Bad Alcazar, in my opinion, is better. Okay, so you have too many poisons, or you can have too many poisons on at the same time if you have a Bad Alcazar with a Xavier or Frozen Banshee. I've tried all of them. I sometimes got better results with a Xavier or a Frozen Banshee, but most of the time, it's usually a little bit less, and I assume it is because the decreased defense and the weaken, for example, is not being applied because the debuff bar is full. Okay, so for that reason, I'm going to say that Occult Brawler was crucial to the progression of my account, and in fact, he came before basically Frozen Banshee, and way before I had maxed out a Xavier anyway on my account. All right, so here are the total stats on this champ. We have 176 speed, 73% crit rate. Remember, I have Bad Alcazar in the lead, so this is why I'm always aiming for 75% crit rate. Good amount of accuracy overall. All the skills are done on this champion, even the A2, which sadly I got this maxed out before the A1, so you know, it is what it is. And then for the masteries, here's what I'm using. We got War Master for the tier 6. Now let's do 3 other champions that I feel are still really important on any account. I do use them every now and then, but I feel there's a way to work around them. I don't necessarily need to use them, at least not all the time, right? One is going to be Royal Guard for obvious reasons. He is in my Dragon 20 team. I think I showed that already with this screenshot right here, right? But I could replace this with a Poisoner, namely Occult Brawler, which I've done before, and it works, right? So he's important. I do know that eventually I might get around to building a second one if I get like a Prince Kymar, because for certain dungeons, it is going to be a lot faster. But here are the total stats on my Royal Guard right now. All the skills are done, and then here are the masteries for this champion. Flawless Execution being the tier 6 on this one. The next one we're going to talk about real quick before I let you guys go is Allure. So Allure became really important for me for specifically the Doom Tower, and recently I just showed you guys this run of the Scarab King, where Allure is basically the ultimate turn meter control champ. I am still going to use her, probably not going to use her against the Nether Spider anymore, so I might change her gear from Lifesteal to something else. Maybe go with one of the new sets that prevents occasionally the weak hits, right? But here are the total stats on this champion. We have 223 speed, 100% crit rate, which is the most important part, and obviously accuracy as well. All the skills are done, and then here are the masteries on this champion. We've got Giant Slayer for the tier 6 on this one. And finally, the last one I'll quickly talk about is one that I've just started using. It is a Rear Guard Sergeant for that secondary ally protection. So Iron Brago kind of made this all happen for me, and I showed that screenshot, but let me show it here again. And so this was literally because I pulled Iron Brago, we got the increased defense, we got more decreased attack, and I thought maybe between both of them it can be enough, and every now and then it is enough. It still ends up usually being a 2-key Ultra Nightmare most of the time, but it can be a lot more, and you even saw a screenshot me reaching 45 million with double ally protection. All right, so 192 speed, just above your counterattack champion, 75% crit rate, right on the dot for Bad Alcazar, 4.5k defense. Could be higher. For an ally protection champ, more HP, more defense would be better. 261 accuracy. All the skills are done. And then here are the masteries on this champion as well. We have War Master for the tier 6, guys. So there you have it. Like, 8 or 9 champions, epic champions that I think are absolutely crucial on my account right now. I want to know what you guys think in the comments below. Which one do you prefer the most? Which epic champions are your game changers? And they either allowed you to progress or they're still today one of the ones that you use the most. Let me know. Hopefully you've learned something, and I'll catch you guys later.